any attempt, any aspiration to influence our elections failed. They were not successful in doing that, and it's a very important point. We're talking about this because we had embarrassing leaks from the DNC emails. There were no fireworks in that report because there was no firewall at the DNC.
Incoming White House counselor and former Trump campaign manager Kellyanne Conway earlier this morning, some 48 hours after getting that classified intelligence briefing on Russian hacking, and the president-elect and his team are still reluctant to put full blame on the Kremlin. And it is not over. Congress set to hold more hearings this week on the cyber attack. With me now is Congressman Eric Swalwell, Democrat of California and member of the House Intelligence Committee, joining me from a very cold and windy San Francisco. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me back, Alex.
So, sir, I understand that you have been briefed on this classified report. Do you agree with what Kellyanne Conway said there, that there are no bombshells in this report?
No, the report shows that our democracy was hacked this past presidential election. It was ordered by Russia's dictator, Vladimir Putin. And most important, they intend to do it again. And so I think we ought to do something about that. I've proposed having an independent commission to look at how we're so vulnerable and make recommendations to protect us in the future. But what I think is really important is that this is not seen as relitigating the election. Donald Trump won, but what we must do is secure our democracy. It's a democracy that so many men and women have fought for in our armed services, still are fighting for today, and is worth defending.
Now, our national security team here at NBC News says that this report was one of the strongest, one of the most detailed they'd ever seen. However, they also said they were surprised that it lacked evidence like examples of, say, communication intercepts. Do you share that disappointment?
I'm disappointed that more has not been declassified. I have seen the classified evidence. It's powerful, it's overwhelming, and the arrows only point in one direction, and that is toward Russia. But I think having an independent commission of bipartisan appointed experts could allow us to look at this evidence and then in an independent way release to the public what exactly happened. But again, this is more about going forward to make sure it doesn't happen again.
So you've seen classified things. Obviously, we haven't been privy to at this point. But are you suggesting there are more detailed facts within that report that, I mean, you're saying irrefutably the finger is pointed in one direction, and that's it?
Very persuasive, detailed facts, and I hope that we can declassify them. Of course, there are a number of reasons that would suggest right now we want to keep those close to the vest as we continue to investigate, but the American people deserve to know what happens. And right now, I'm fearful that it's just too easy to send this off to congressional committees and then bury the findings in classified reports, and the American people don't know what happens. And we have a president-elect who has seen the same evidence, if not more than I have now seen, and he still disavows our intelligence communities and has chosen to side with Russia. The only way, I think, to overcome that is for the American people to have an independent commission that tells them once and for all what happened in a declassified way.
If you want to suggest our president-elect is looking big picture here, he did tweet on Saturday, quote, having a good relationship with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing. Only, quote, stupid people or fools would think that it is bad. So what do you make of that? I mean, I think we can all agree that being allies is a good thing.
Well, it's disturbing that he was told on Friday that Russia was responsible for hacking our election and trying to influence the voters. And then the very next day, he wants to invite Putin over for dinner. That is disturbing, and we are less safe as a country if we have a president who does not believe in evidence. That plays out when it comes to national security here at home. If he's not believing in the intelligence presented to him, that makes us less safe everywhere, not just across the world.
But given the Donald Trump that we saw during the election and the one that we expect to see and the one that we see all the time in tweets, would you expect him to react in any other way? Because the suggestion would be that if he said, wow, this whole report, it's all legit, it just undermines his mandate.
I still believe in the dignity of the office of president, and I think it's time that he starts acting like the president, because he's about to be the president for all of us, and that means protecting Americans from our greatest threat. And when another country interferes in your election, you side with America, not that country's dictator.
What about the status of your bill to establish a commission to look further into this election situation with the 2016 election?
We have over 180 co-sponsors in Congress. I'm continuing to reach out to Republicans because I believe so many of my colleagues believe that we have to put our country ahead of party. And so I'm going to get back to Washington tomorrow morning and continue to build more of a coalition to investigate and tell the American people what we're going to do to secure our democracy.
All right. Well, then, safe travels,
Thanks,
sir,
Alex.
as you fly back east. Congressman Eric Swalwell there from San Francisco. Thanks.